Pivoting once again, this time to Florida, where a retrial date has been set for rapper YNW Melly. The accused murderer, whose legal name is Jamel Demons, will head back to trial September 10th, 2025. Demons is charged in the double murder in the shooting deaths of his friends, Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr. Co-defendant Cortland Henry was believed to be driving the car at the time of the incident. The defense says that Melly and his friends were victims of a drive-by shooting, but the state thinks that it was Melly who pulled a gun on his friends. All right, so the mistrial was declared a year ago already. What do you guys think about this case, Robin, in terms of, once again, a retrial in a case? Is it going to be any better for the prosecution? Do you expect it's going to be worse, which many times it is? I
think it's going to be worse for the prosecution. I think that the reason why there was a mistrial is obviously because they didn't have as strong a case as they thought. I think they were relying on a lot of forensic evidence about where the casings were in the vehicle, and sort of rumors about there perhaps being squabbles between the crew. But I just don't think it was enough to carry the day. And I think going back in and trying it again is generally a mistake.
Yeah. What do you think, Krista?
Yeah, I agree. And unless you have new facts that you've discovered, or a new theory to look at this case, I think that what you have is a case where the defense has just gotten a focus group, and they have seen your playbook, and they can really sharpen their skills as well. So unless there's something new that has come up, I think it is not a good idea. I think you're just going to get the same result, or maybe you'll just get an acquittal.
Yeah, I mean, Robin, that's an interesting point there. A lot of times the value that I had as a prosecutor was the element of surprise, how I put my case on, the manner in which I presented my case, the witnesses that were in my primacy and recency, toolkit. And now there's transcripts that are being created with all those witnesses, and invariably witnesses will testify different. So that makes the prosecution's case much more difficult, don't you think?
Much, much, much more difficult. And also the publicity of this loss, right? Everybody knows that this case did not end in a conviction. That will be out in the public, that's out in the news, that's out to the witnesses, that is out to everyone. If people begin changing their stories or trying to come up with new theories, it's just going to be a mess. I think it's going to give the defense lots and lots and lots of ammunition and ways to move to make sure that this does not go in the prosecution's direction.
Yeah, Chris, I think it's about time to just say real quick, and we got about 30 seconds, the decisions prosecutors have to make after a mistrial as to whether to go forward or not. There are times where you just got to give up the ghost. And sometimes maybe after 2, 3, 4 times, it's that time. But I guess it's not now, right? 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's hubris, I think, right? And, you know what you've got, and you've got to make that decision. And it's a tough one. And it's one that you really have to do in talking with the families as well, because a lot of times that does drive the prosecutor's, ego a little bit more to get that conviction, hopefully. So hopefully there is some thoughtful retrospect on what happened, and maybe a come to Jesus conversation.
Yeah, that is a really, really good point, that the victim's family can really drive the bus on the ultimate decision.